Okay, so looking at number 27, it's y is less than x minus 3 squared. Whenever we're doing these inequality problems, it's usually best just to ignore the less than to begin with and graph it as if it's an equation. It's less than, so we're going to use a dotted line when we graph this because the equal part would be the solid line. And so we don't want it to be equal to, we want it to be less than that. So in this case, this is a parabola because you have a y that's not squared and an x part that is squared. The vertex of this parabola is going to be 3, 0. And so we're going to plot 3, 0 as a vertex. And then because we're just doing the graph of this, we just need to find some more points. It's pretty easy to find a few points. And so since we know the vertex is 3, 0 because it's, the y minus k equals a times x minus h squared, then we can just plug some points around 3 in for x to find y. If x is 2, then y just turns out to be 1. Same thing if x is 4. If x is 1, then you got y as 4. And so you have this as your graph, dotted line going up. And so it turns out that conic sections are just like any other inequalities where the graph of the equation segments the plane into parts. And one part, if a point is true in one part, then it's true all the parts. So we take 0, 0, and we test it here, and we get 0 is less than negative 3 squared, because 0 minus 3 squared. That is true because negative 3 squared is 9. That means that 0, 0 is in the solution of this. So it turns out that the graph is all the points that are outside of the parabola. Inside the parabola would give you y is greater than x minus 3 squared. For 29, you've got y plus 4 is less than or equal to x plus 2 squared. So again, we can just start with the vertex. The vertex would be negative 2, negative 4. And so negative 2, negative 4 would be this point right here. Again, because you have your x minus h, your y minus k greater than or equal to x minus h squared. And so then we need some more points. So again, we can just look at points that are around negative 2. When x is negative 3, you get y plus 4 equal to what? 1. So y is negative 3. And so you get these 2 points. When x is 0, you get y is 0. So it goes through the origin there. And so your graph looks like this. It's equal to. And so we're going to have a solid line when we graph it. And then we need to test a point. We can't test 0, 0 because that's actually on our graph. And so I'm going to just try here. Let's try this point right here, 3, 0. And so if I put in 0 for y, that gives me 4 is greater than or equal to, and then 3 for x. And so that would give you 5 squared. Is that true? That is not true. 4 is not greater than 25. So this point is not part of our solution. That means the inside part must be our solution. And so the graph of number 29 looks like that.